Hey guys, if you like what you hear, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. From now on, I offer memberships and I would be so happy if you support me on Patreon. Have fun! Are you enjoying the tea, old sport? I'd like to think it's a special herbal mix I came up with, but at the end of the day, it's just black tea mixed with green tea and a ting of lemon juice. Now then, let's get to business. I know you're not here to just zip on a hot drink. You're here because you're lost, aren't you? And I don't mean that in a figurative or a poetic sort of way. You went off the path and found yourself in a place you're unfamiliar with. Oh yes, I'm quite the astute one. You see, I'm a doctor at the top of my field, and as such I have a talent for shedding light on the ambiguous. Of course, my dear. I have a doctorate in art history, so yes, I am a doctor despite all those times my parents have called me solely to tell me how I irrecoverably fucked up my life. You really learn to trace patterns from the characteristics, formal qualities of pieces from each artistic movement when you're as experienced as I am. The rebellious but actually kind of boring quality of Impressionism, the exaggerated curvatures of female sculptures from the Neolithic period, etc., etc. So you see, the common fool couldn't have discerned one's backstory during a limited frame of time, as I have time and time again on a daily basis. Huh? You said multiple times that you needed directions. Well, I apologize, but as they say, ask not what they can do, but what you can do. Perhaps take this misunderstanding as a sign to speak less softly next time. A lovely voice like yours shouldn't be lost in the cacophony of nonsense we call normal conversations. My passive aggressiveness is besides the subject of interest at hand. What we should really be discussing is the fact that you're all lost and cold, and not to mention completely drenched from the rain, now that I think about it. Tsk, what a massive blunder on my part. This calls for a change of clothes. Wouldn't want you to catch a cold, now would we? Here, take this neatly folded matching outfit that looks really good on you and is conveniently in your size. I always make sure to keep a spare set of luxurious robes around for extremely specific and situational occasions, such as these. You think that's odd behavior? Now do you? You think it's almost as if I expected you to come? Well, you see, old sport, it's customary in my culture to address a guest's exact needs before you even meet your guest. Indeed. It's a tradition from, New Jersey. I highly doubt such a tradition would raise an eyebrow when weighted against literally everything else from New Jersey. So you should probably stop asking about something that's most likely trivial in the grand scheme of things. Let's change our discussion topic to something, I don't know, practical. Let's start thinking about our next move, or perhaps even our future together. I mean, your future. You're the guest after all. What sort of host would I be if I were most concerned with my own non-romantic in nature goals? Now then, allow me a moment to retrieve my reading glasses and a sufficiently large piece of parchment for writing so we can put a few items on the docket. How do you like your eggs? Shaped like hearts or decorated with XOXOs written with ketchup? Do you like eggs? It's alright if you don't. Tell me all about your dietary restrictions. I promise I'll find a way to work around them. What's your stance on keeping a pet around? Are you open to premarital... Oh, you have something to say about the ropes? I just knew you loved them. You don't have to ask me twice, or at all. I can read your thoughts like a book. Yes, you can keep them. I had a hunch that you were just too shy to admit your gratitude towards my gift. And by extension, me. Oh, it seems my guilty conscience has won this time. I can't bear to withhold the truth from you any longer. The ropes I gave you do indeed have my beloved lovingly embroidered on it in cursive. And yes, stitching conveniently sized clothing for attractive strangers is not a tradition from New Jersey, as fitting as that phrase would be in the headline of a magazine from New Jersey. Personally, I thought it was a good excuse considering the whole US is a mess from top to bottom. I really didn't expect you to arrive at this very moment. I never expected anyone to come along besides the occasional mailman. Have you tried living somewhere with no neighbors around? It's like being stranded on an island except I have access to water, a dope manor, electricity, food rations, and actually, this is a dumb analogy now that I think about it, so I'm just going to get straight to the point now. I'm touch-starved. For months I've played the part of the damsel in distress, waiting for someone to come rescue me from this figurative ivory tower. It's gotten to the point where I've started to fantasize about being the sugar spouse of one whom I could have exclusively a reciprocal relationship where we could build each other up on a foundation of affection. From the moment I saw you from the fisheye lens on my front door, I knew you had potential. If I had you in my good graces and proved my own potential, I'd be able to convince you to stay with me. Our little sapling, our heuristic bond, it could have blossomed into actual love. I see how you'd be able to find love if you didn't live in Dracula's childhood home, as you put it. I presume a personality like yours is endearing enough to pull anyone in, but a creepy loner like me, I'd end up hurting someone. I'm not exactly the most sensible emotionally, and I'm not as modest or patient as you are. For a second there, I was happy. I thought I had a chance to prove myself wrong and form a sincere human connection with you. But I blew it. Unsurprisingly. The only real thing I gained from this experience is regret and affirmation that seclusion really is the best route for me. But still, I am your host nonetheless, and you have nowhere else to go. Take this hammer and set off nails so you can board yourself up in my bedroom for the night. Lest I be tempted to cuddle you in your sleep. Also take the shovel so you can dig yourself an escape route. I'm sorry you had to put up with me. You think I don't need to apologize? But why? I am a socially isolated stranger with morally questionable intentions. Can't I make a good decision in my life just this once? You want me to actually cuddle you in your sleep? You know, that's just a hypothetical possibility, right? A possibility I specifically mentioned because it was weird and something you should want to avoid. What sort of malevolent force is possessing you to say that? You think it's the least I could do to make up for wasting your time? Well, when you put it that way, it's only proper. Some might say it's even my duty to cuddle you. A good host should always oblige request within reason, but only for a few seconds, okay? I don't want to overstep another boundary. I've already broken like 100 during your stay.